100%. So I want to ask a personal question now, kind of on a personal note. With knowing, and this is true of me too, it impacts the way I celebrate. Knowing history impacts the way I celebrate Christmas and other holidays. Knowing history as you do, is there any recommendations you'd give, especially Christians, but really just people who care about history, in the way that they celebrate Thanksgiving this year? Maybe something that's carried over from that original Thanksgiving celebration, or maybe something that even that you guys have adopted in your home that really underscores the importance and the nature of what that first Thanksgiving was really all about.
That's a great question. I think probably an area we do get this right in some regards to the original Thanksgiving. Generally in America, we do a pretty good job with food,
Yeah.
with fellowships.
We
and,
have
and
no
with
problem with
sports.
food in America. Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, I mean, generally speaking, we're going to have a feast, and actually leftovers, they're amazing. I'm a fan. But food, fellowship, and sports, that was all part of the first Thanksgiving. Where we largely get it wrong is the time they took really thinking and acknowledging what God had done in their life. And
Yeah.
also keep in mind, these were people whose lives had been devastated, but they recognized the only reason they were still here at all was because of what God had done. They were able to look and see the good that God had done for them along the way in spite of their hardship. And this is something that I think as Americans, so often we don't recognize the blessings of God as much as we should, where we know the story where Jesus healed the 10 lepers. And it says, all right, go present yourself before the priest. And only one comes back and he says, didn't I heal 10 of you?
Yeah.
Where are the other 9? We're not always very good as Christians in general, but certainly not in America, at remembering to thank God for what God has done. And so one of the traditions we do in our family, and we have extended family, we get together, so all the aunts and uncles and cousins, and we get together and we'll have a big meal together. Before we eat the meal, we take time, we go around the entire room, and everybody says, what are you thankful to God for what he did for you this year? And we name some things that we recognize that God did for us. And I think where we've lost some perspective, what the Pilgrims used to do, the day of Thanksgiving was really a day of thanksgiving. And only after they had taken time to give thanks and acknowledge God and be grateful to God, then they spent time in the food and the fellowship and the sports. And I think the thing that probably we need to recapture the most is remembering that the first Thanksgiving wasn't thanking God for abundance. They didn't have abundance.
Yeah.
Now, certainly if you have abundance, you should thank God for abundance. That's awesome. But they had enough. They said, I don't think we're going to starve this winter. That's a crazy thought, that they weren't thanking God that their cup was running over. They were thanking God they had something in their cup.
Yeah.
Because they had a chance to make it, and they knew without God, they wouldn't even had something in their cup. And had God not brought friends and allies along the way, it's a different perspective that I think as Americans, sometimes we get very spoiled, and we get very used to being very spoiled with the blessings and abundance we have in America. And I know that's not everybody. There's probably people listening right now who are thinking, man, that's not my life. I'm not living in abundance right now. We can still find things to thank God for, even if our cup is not running over, so to speak. We can still recognize that God has been moving in our life. God has been working on our behalf. God has not abandoned or forsaken us. There's a lot of promises of the scripture we can still cling to. And I think we ought to do a better job at being grateful and thankful to God for who he is, for what he's done for us over this past year.
You can catch brand new episodes of Indie Thinker with Reed Huberman every Monday, and weekly bonus episodes to keep you thinking throughout the week. But you have to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when new episodes drop. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like this video and share it with friends.